So is Scott being bullied by the girls? Is Scott being bullied by the editors? Is something going on here? And I think that, this is just a very interesting conversation. Or is the word bullied too strong? Hey guys, it's Murad. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Back again with another video. If you have not subscribed, click that button. It is daily and consistent content. And let's get straight into this video. So just wanted to do, a random video at 3 a.m. in the morning, because why the hell not? Great episode of Love Island, fantastic movie night, a lot was going on. It was a lot. It was a good movie night. But, of course, when it comes to Scott, it is quite confusing. Now, the reason why I say this is because the clip that they showed of him where he said, maybe I'll stay loyal or not, or something like that, was evidently a joke that he was making with his friends. So why would that be used in a way for the girls to perceive it as if he wasn't loyal, he was lying, he was, doing it for Catherine, but really he's been called out and he was just doing it for himself. It's obviously not the look that Scott wanted, nor that the girls would to see of him, and that kind of, rages it on. And this is the issue with movie night that I have, that the producers do, is that when they show certain clips, they're not actually showing what a clip actually is, if that makes any sense. I feel like they're showing a clip with an agenda behind it.
End of. They don't want you.
Wow.
No, it wasn't that.
Wow.
Not a matter of none of the girls wanted me, so I didn't do anything about it.
Oh, here we go with the justification.
Wow.
And the clip often isn't actually what took place in reality, so therefore it messes things up even more. If you're going to show receipts and clips, show them actually dogging people out or doing whatever they're doing, not what it might look like, even though it's not, because then it kind of just messes things up. I also then feel like if it was 4 guys laughing at one of the girls saying that, you couldn't get anyone, you couldn't bag anyone, essentially calling them clapped, then, that would not land well. And it would be absolute chaos because the optics look really bad if that were to be the case. So I think that people are not realizing, because it's 4 girls, going towards Scott. Now, Scott dragged Leah, rightfully so, because, I love the fact that she's piping up and adding something finally in terms of dramatics. But outside of that, she was piping up, and every action has a reaction. So she was inserting her coin into the whole Leah situation, into the whole Elam and Catherine situation, and Scott was like, "Well, you ain't been speaking for 4 weeks, but now you want to be spokesperson."
You're the fucking spokesperson, so you haven't fucking spoke for about 4 weeks.
And then when Katie responded and chimed in and was like, stop doing that, Scott, telling him off, and that how weird he is and whatever, I would have responded back and saying, well, I think it's weird that you returned to Love Island when nobody asked. I think it's weird that you returned from Casa Amor single. I think it's weird that you tried to intercept Zach, did not work out. And I think it's weird that you came into the villa when you have a secret boyfriend outside. I think, let's talk about that. That would have been my response, child. And I also feel like Catherine just does not have any emotional awareness or sensitivity about the situation. A lot of people are saying that something's happened behind the scenes that we don't know, that's turned the girls off. And that is why they're not, most of them are not talking to Scott. But if that were to be the case, we would have seen that. Or not. We don't know, to be honest with you, but I feel like we would have seen that in some kind of case. Also, when Sammy came in and was saying, Scott wouldn't find Catherine attractive, Catherine got very emotional over that, crying to Sammy, and her feelings were hurt, and Whitney was there to try help relay that. So, and Scott was supportive of that and helped you. But even if Scott wasn't, you were emotional and upset because somebody questioned whether they would find you attractive. Now, it's you and 3 or 4 of your mates, even Ella as well, or saying to Scott, nobody's going to pick you, nobody would pick you, or you didn't get picked. Basically saying that you didn't have the charm, looks, or whatever to get picked, saying that you're not as attractive. So how is that not far worse? And if Catherine was in Scott's position, not only would the optics look really bad, but she would be absolutely crying her head off, considering that Sammy's comments made her quite emotional. So I think that she does have immaturity at times, and she's displaying it. She is 22, and I think that she is displaying this immaturity. She has been incredibly insensitive. Initially, when this all took place, I was like, is Scott even genuine? Let Catherine do what she needs to do. But as time goes on, I can really see it now properly, and I feel like she has been quite disingenuous. I feel like the word bully is very strong, because I don't know if the word bullied is here, but I would say, a lot of unnecessary teasing that is taking place, and it's hurting Scott's feelings, and I think that, it's just not fair what he's going through at this moment of time. I would also imagine there'll be a lot of Ofcom complaints you know, for Scott, because nobody likes a gang up, and that's what's even happening here. And I just don't think it's nice to see. Not only are all 4-5 girls saying that to him, but also on top of that, clips are shown of him that aren't actually true or genuine, because he was joking anyways. So it, you know, it doesn't make any sense. However, if Faye can rise, then Catherine can rise as well. Sorry, my eyes, Faye was far worse than anybody else post movie night. So
because right now you look like a two-faced prick, and I want nothing to do with it. Everything that was shown on me on that fucking screen. Tell me the truth, did you?
No, I didn't lie to you.
Fucking tell me the
Exactly,
truth.
I didn't lie to you.
Fuck off.
if Faye can rise, then Catherine can rise as well. Do you understand? I feel like we can give people grace. I would give Catherine grace because I feel like the world gave Faye grace, and that was proved by the fact that she came third in the show. So I feel like if people can give her grace when she did far worse, people definitely have the patience and the understanding and the need to give Catherine grace, but they just don't want to do that. But they just decide to do that for Faye. So hopefully in time, people will give Catherine the grace, because I feel like, you know, she definitely will need it. And I feel like once she comes out of the villa, she'll realize how she effed up, and she'll realize what people are saying, and that will be a lesson for her. And life is, you know, to learn for lessons, but none of us are perfect. So I think that she will be able to realize her wrongs and correct them. But I think that the gang up on Scott is really unfair. And I'm glad that he responded back to Leah when they had their own one-to-one conversation. He was not quiet. He was not timid. He very much responded back and said X, Y, Z, and you did this and you did that. And it's very true, because Leah did not need to insert herself into the situation, because she's got her own issues with Montel anyway. So I don't know why she's even talking. If we really want to keep it buck, because when you started talking, you got red for life. So, you know, after that, I'm still gagged over that.
You're the fucking spokesperson until you haven't fucking spoke for about 4 weeks.
I know she is. I'm so sorry. That was a highlight of movie night. The fact that he just came for like that. And for KD to switch like that, it's entertaining for us to watch as viewers, but also it's like, why are you talking? Because nobody asked you to come back to the show. You allegedly got a man on the outside. You even came back to Casa Amor alone, and you intercepted the Molly's that situation and failed miserably. So what grounds do you even have at this point? So I don't understand. You know, it really doesn't make any sense. I feel like all of the girls were saying something or reacting or laughing or commenting in some kind of way. He's picking up on this, and it's just not nice to see, especially when you think about it a lot. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. There was a clip on After Sun being shown that Ty and the boys were upset with Mitch, and etc, etc. Are they upset with Mitch? Are they really upset with Mitch, or are they seeing that Mitch and Abby could now be a contender for the finale? Who knows at this point? But I think that they're going to have some kind of conversation with him after seeing it all. They can laugh it off there, but I don't think it's that deep, to be honest with you. I really don't think it's that deep with whatever they have towards Mitch. I feel like Ty is the ringleader of this group, and whatever he says goes, and they all want to have this conversation with Mitch, but I don't see them wanting to have this conversation with Ty when he does stuff X, Y, Z, and I just find that to be interesting. But I think what Scott is going through is unfair. It's building up, and the pressure is getting, you know, worse. And he has been saying multiple times, how would you feel like if someone said they don't like you? How would you feel like they, you know, and the girls are not being attentive towards that, because if somebody said it to any one of these girls, they would get emotional and would get upset. So they're not resonating with what he's trying to say, and that is frustrating to see as a viewer. So this can work also in Scott's favor. Once you get the sympathy vote, you know, and everybody's bullying you or ganging up on you or saying something to you or, you know, being rude to you, that can work in your favor, and you can end up being a liked contestant because people feel sorry for you. Then that means you become popular. Then that means producers notice that. Then that means they might send somebody in for Scott. So, you know, it could work in his favor in that way. Scott's brother also did tweet a couple of days ago about how he's upset about Catherine's behavior. Rightly so. I'm so sorry, but if your own siblings on the show and you're seeing them being disrespected, you're going to want to defend them or feel for them. So it makes sense for Scott's brother to say XYZ, because why would you not as a sibling? You're going to defend your family as you should when you see XYZ going on. He was really upset with Catherine's behavior. There is a switch up. I don't understand what the switch up is with Catherine. It is a shame, but as I've always said, if Faye can rise, then Catherine can rise as well. And we can give grace to Catherine as well, just like we gave grace to Faye. It just takes time with these situations, and this will be a learning curve for her, most definitely. I don't know why I'm doing this 10-minute video at 3 a.m. in the morning. I have no idea. Nobody asked me to do this, and none of you guys asked for this. Nobody asked for this. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on when it comes to this. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Like 3 a.m. hello video. Subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And Comment down below, sound off on this. I want to hear your comments, agree or disagree, etc, etc. I feel like this is more of a proper conversation about it, because initially my review was very reactive because it was a lot to take in within 40 minutes. It was like quite overwhelming. It was just so much, you know, movie night content, entertainment, and normally we're used to Love Island giving us 10 minutes of beef in the last, you know, 10 minutes of the show. That's what we're really used to. So this is more of a mellowed down approach and processing on having a better conversation about it and whether we agree and disagree. And if I did this conversation with Catherine a couple of weeks ago when I felt like the boys were being very weird for her, I think it's fair that we can do this for other contestants as well if we're seeing a pattern like we are seeing for Scott. Subscribe to the channel, click that button. It is daily and consistent content, and I'll catch you guys soon for another review. Also, I do want to interview Mehdi, but nobody asked him to go to France. He is back in France, child. So get in his DM, get in his comments, and say, you know, do an interview with Murad, because I would love to speak to Mehdi, child. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon for another review.